certainly are well aware of, and probably the second biggest piece to this puzzle is Christian McCaffrey. I mean, second most fantasy points of all time in a single season, third 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver in NFL history, breaks his own running back reception record with 116 this year, leads the league in TDs and scrimmage yards by over 600 yards. I mean, this guy had a season for the ages, no matter how you want to string it. But ultimately, like, everyone's just like, he has nowhere to go but down. I'm seeing people say he shouldn't be number one just because you can't ever do that, and now he has a different play caller. Is there any world, though, where Joe Brady somehow elevates McCaffrey? How do you see him being used in this offense?
Yeah, and I think everyone in football, if we're talking about things we're excited to see with Joe Brady, it's how does he use Christian McCaffrey, because it seems like a fantastic marriage. And yeah, I'm not even gonna speculate that's going to be different from how they use him, because I mean, it seems like a lot of the principles Joe Brady uses with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, for example, are pretty similar to how they use for Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, I think sometimes we think in a fantasy point of view or in a football point of view that if more pieces and more distribution, that means it's going to be bad for the best player, right? But I also use this in the basketball sense that if you have four, look at the Golden State Warriors in their prime. If you have four great shooters, it means everybody's getting better looks, and it means everybody's more productive. It's not a bad thing to dish the ball out because it's going to make you better. I look at what Joe Brady might do with this offense, and I would think Christian McCaffrey might theoretically touch the ball a little less, but I think he'll probably have more productive touches if the offense goes how we expect it. I don't want to sit here and act like it's a foregone conclusion that Joe Brady's going to succeed as OC or anything like that. But if the offense does what I think it can under him, then yeah, I think the offense will run smoother, and that will mean the passing game's looking better, and the receivers are getting better looks, and all these things, and that. Yeah, McCaffrey might get less touches, but those touches might be better looks for bigger gains and be more productive. So, I mean, sure, yeah, if you have a year like that, yeah, we'd be dumb to think it isn't statistically, analytically likely that he takes a step down just because that's how that works. But I don't think there's no room to grow or anything like that, because Joe Brady's number one skill, if you ask me, is just the ability to put those puzzle pieces together, the ability to figure out somebody's greatest strength and how to use that against a defense's weakness. And I think he'll get creative with how to use McCaffrey's unbelievable strengths against a weakness of a defense.
Absolutely. I think you highlighted, too, the biggest point I've made when anybody says, do I keep taking McCaffrey number one overall? He has to go backwards, right? Is sure, maybe the sheer number of touches goes down, but if this offense, which I believe was 20th in scoring last year, let's say Brady is the real deal, and again, we can't say foregone conclusion, but if you're trying to map out upside scenarios, let's say he does take this to a top 7 or 8, maybe even top 5 level scoring offense. The weaponry is there, in my opinion, to get there. Then he already led the NFL with touchdowns last year, but let's say he gets another spike of 5 to even, an LT style 30 touchdown season, something insane like that. Like it could be within that realm of possibilities. I saw, Helaire was definitely the guy at the goal line. He doesn't seem to like to sub his backs out. So, I mean, that's how I see McCaffrey potentially, even if he goes down just a little bit in the yardage and touch department, if those touchdowns somehow still increase too, it could be just yet another one of those cheat code style seasons. So I'm with you there. I love that take. Fantasy Wolf. If you haven't already, share your thoughts, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolf Pack by subscribing below.